Welcome to Understand the Math. In this video, I'm going to walk you through an example of the law of sines ambiguous case where we're going to get two triangles. Since we know the sides A and B and angle A, we'll begin by finding the sine of angle B. B is equal to 30, and then we have sine 25 degrees, and then we divide that by side A, which is 25. This gives us a value of 0.5071. Let's now determine the number of solutions and the type of triangle. Sine B is less than 1, and this time A is less than B, so that tells us that we're going to get two solutions and two triangles. Our next step is to find our two angles, which we're going to call B1 and B2. Let's go back and look at this for a minute before we continue on. This is the type of triangle we're going to get, and the angle that we're going to find first are our two unknown angles, B1 and B2. B1 is the inverse sine of 0.5071, which is equal to 30.47 degrees. We know that B1 plus B2 is going to be 180 degrees, so that tells us that B2 is going to be 180 degrees minus B1. B2 is then 180 degrees minus 30.47 degrees, which is equal to 149.53 degrees. Let's highlight those two values. We're now going to find our angles C1 and C2. A is 25 degrees. Our B1 is 30.47 degrees. Plus C1, and that's 180 degrees. When we add that all up, we find that C1 is equal to 124.53 degrees. We'll do the same thing to find C2. A is 25 degrees. Our B2 is 149.53 degrees. We have C2, and that's all equal to 180 degrees. This gives us that angle C2 is equal to 5.47 degrees. Let's highlight those two values. Our last step is to find C1 and C2 using the law of sines. To save us some time, I've put in our formulas. Let's first compute C1. It's equal to the sine of C1, which is the sine of 124.53 degrees, times A, which is 25, divided by the sine of A, which is the sine of 25 degrees. Plugging this all into our calculator gives us C1 is equal to 48.73. We can find C2 in a similar way. We have C2 is the sine of angle C2, which is 5.47 degrees, times 25 divided by the sine of 25 degrees. When we plug this into the calculator, we get 5.67, and we'll highlight those values. In this case, we ended up with two triangles, and we found all the unknown angles and the unknown sides. You should be all set now to tackle some of these problems on your own. If this video has been helpful to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Keep believing in yourself and have a great rest of your day.